Welcome to the Julie Laughton Living Podcast, the place to get advice, tips, and tricks to building the life and luxury home of your dreams with 30-year business owner, designer, and builder, Julie Laughton. It all starts with a good plan. This is Julie Laughton Living.
Hey guys, it's Julie. Welcome back to the Julie Laughton Living Podcast. This week we're going to talk about trusting the process and the importance of working with professionals. I think the most common things that go wrong for homeowners on a custom home build project is that they actually hired the wrong people to start with, and that's huge. But they may not find that out until halfway through or a quarter of the way through, when things start to blow up finally and they get told the truth. So it does start with the plan, which means your designer or your architect. And then it starts with then it goes to the engineers helping and support. But the next step is your contractor. So if you're not working with the right people that are qualified to not only fit your needs, but they're also, you get along with and you work well with, because a lot of people, like me, are A-type personalities and go. And we just want to get stuff done. So it's really important that the plans work, but it does start with the plans, period. So the biggest thing to look for when you're hiring the team is, have they done this before? Are they good at what you want done? Because maybe you're going to remodel a vintage home. Some people have never done remodels. They've only done new construction. So that's a game changer for hiring the right person. Because if you hire the wrong person, oh my God, remodels are 5-10 times more difficult. So, and then architects aren't space planners or interior designers. If you hire an architect, you got to hire an interior designer. They match together. All their stuff goes together. So what you have to look for is experience in what you're doing. And again, you need to like them, and meaning get along with them and understand their personalities and know if you can deal with them, because you could be working with them 2 to 10 years. It's a long time. So once you've hired your team, a lot of people have trouble understanding the process because they've never done it before. So if they don't understand it, then they don't trust. And if they're not informed, enough, I know my clients, if they don't get informed enough, like, what are you doing? When's this going to happen? Why aren't you done yet? It's constant. So my job is, what makes me probably unique is I give updates constantly, like Monday and Friday. Like, here's what we're doing. Here's what happened. Here's what we're doing. Here's what happened. Here's what we're doing. Here's what happened. Then I give these long projected schedules, but that doesn't help. It's constant communication. Pick up the phone, have a meeting. So it's really constant communication. And, technology today, I'd like to just text and email everybody. It's so easy, right? But you got to pick up the phone and interact with people and get nose to nose, eye to eye. It really solves everything once you're eye to eye. It's crucial to have a process when you start, because again, my motto is it all starts with a good plan, right? So if you don't have a plan and a process and the people to execute it, you're toast, because there's no faking it till you make it in this business. Design and construction, especially at construction, is experience. And it's not that difficult of a business, but trust me, I think more than 50% of it is your experience. So the process is like, I have a document, it's probably 100 feet long. And it has every step of everything every human does, from the day the client meets me to the day the client signs until the last day when we hand them the keys or give them their lifetime maintenance agreement. It's thousands of items long. And there's a checklist. There is not one single item not on that list that we do, the subs do, the vendors do, and the client does, because the client has to participate too. So I have it all outlined. It's like a Bible. The steps are crucial, because not only the team needs to see the steps, because I got it memorized, but that doesn't matter if it's in my head. So what? I gotta communicate it to the team and the client, because the client needs to know what we're doing in real time. And before we do it, because it's crucial, because you can't just do something and say, oh, here's what we did. Oh gosh, it costs more. Or here's what we did. Sorry. No, you have to explain it in advance. So it's impossible to explain something in advance if you don't know where you're going. If you don't have a roadmap, how are you going to get there? We don't work that way. We work with a roadmap. The team and the plans and the execution is the team members under me all have a crucial role and they all do something different, but they all overlap. So they overlap like a little web. So everything under me is like a blanket of coverage. And then that team executes flawlessly. I like to say flawlessly, but they are executing from what I used to do as one person. Because again, I don't like bragging, but I did everything at one point myself. Just like the dishwasher who becomes the owner of the restaurant. I started at the bottom, and I as the designer, as the invoicing admin girl, doing all the billing, calling in payroll. So the team under me is every step of the way together like a big fabric, and it's all in order. There's no time wasted. It's super efficient. Nobody's double doing each other's job. So the execution becomes flawless because with a good team backing us up or backing me up and backing each other up, we can stay on time, stay on budget, and catch things before it's too late. So it's just a wonderful process, like a whole, circle of like a global coverage of the project. And then we stay on time and stay on budget, which is key. That's the part of having it's like a race car team when you get in the pit and then boom, boom, boom. And then you take off again. Okay. So trust, the whole process is trust, because just like if you go to the doctor and you have to have surgery, you're not doing the surgery. He's doing the surgery. So you got to trust him. And then they usually knock you out. So then you really got to trust him. So we don't knock you out. We actually take you through the process and you watch, and you participate. But if you don't have the trust, then nothing works, because I have to trust my team. And if I have a paranoid or overbearing attitude, because what blows it for a lot of people, I notice owners, is that they dip into what the clients, the team's doing and try to micromanage, and they don't allow the team to work, and they don't train and groom and let them run. I'm trying to groom and train thoroughbreds, and we were all a whole track of them, not just one, a bunch of them. So, and they all got to run together. So I'm trying to do that and stay out of their way. I'm the last person to trip them up. I'm there to back them, train them, and coddle them along and support them in constant positive reinforcement, because everybody needs positive reinforcement. So that's how I do the people my employees and I trust them because they're learning. I mean, God, it would take them 60 years to learn what I know, because I'm 61. Anyway, but the client trust, that's something they have to trust you, because they see your website, they see your social media, and they hear from their friends, and then they work with you. So they got all these things going on in their head until they actually meet you. So then they use their gut reaction to work with you. So if they don't trust us, then I begin to wonder, because we have like a long-standing, bulletproof, good reputation. So when a client starts to not trust us, then I wonder, is it the client or did we do something? But if the bottom line is, if the trust breaks and there's a trust break factor, it's over. Just like if you don't trust your spouse, or you don't trust your family, or you don't trust your friends, you know how that goes. And then all of a sudden you're talking to everybody else but them. So when that when that starts happening with us, it starts to unravel, and then we just wonder, because we're always on and on and on and on it. So trust is what is the cord that binds everything, period. Trusting the process and working with professionals guarantees you a successful outcome. Now, I hate to always be sarcastic, but if you work with the wrong people, you're in for a ride, right? And I still hear about nightmare remodels, nightmare builds all day long. It's out there, but there's no reason for it. That's why I developed my 7 simple steps, to show that it is possible if you just follow the steps. And you got to hire the right people and then participate. And really, you should be enjoying the process, but it starts with the team and trusting the process, because if you don't trust the process and you try to, let's say, micromanage it, or say you might know better because you're so scared and so fearful, then you're just going to throw a wrench into it. So I like to work with people that do trust us, but in order for them to trust us, they have to get to know us and see everything. So day one, I explain exactly what is going to happen from day one to day end. And I lay it out on a piece of paper and I email everybody and we go over it. So there's really no possible way a client of mine could be confused because I email massive amounts of information, but there's follow-up. So my thing is there's never too much communication, and that communication builds trust. To learn more, don't forget to click the link in the show notes below for my free course on the 7 simple steps to a successful remodel or new custom home build. That'll do it for this episode, and I'll see you next week right here on the Julie Laughton Living Podcast.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Julie Laughton Living. For more information or to connect with Julie one-on-one, visit julielaughtonliving.com. And don't forget, it all starts with a good plan.